honestly a life changer.
And making yourself better.
All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to the first episode of the Revival Show. This podcast, we are going to talk all things business, marine, and life. We're going to go over all kinds of various topics in the marine industry. Obviously, we are predominantly a boat detailing company, but we've got some big visions for this this podcast. I'm going to say class. I'm used to teaching stuff. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for listening or watching on YouTube. This is going to be a new season, a new business journey where we're going to be bringing up various topics, detailing questions, people from other parts of the marine industry. We've got some really big plans, and who I have here with me today is Noah Doss. Noah is our regional sales or international sales director.
all the regions.
he is literally every region sales director here at Revival Marine Care. And if you do not know who I am, and it's your first time ever seeing my face or hearing my beautiful voice, my name is Drake Robert. I started Revival Marine Care, actually 3 years ago. Before that, it was Drake's Detailing here in Pensacola, Florida. And I have the largest social media presence online when it comes to boat detailing, specifically through YouTube and Instagram. And man, my content started back in 2020, right around when COVID hit. And it literally changed the industry. And that's not just me saying that. We have people every day writing us saying how my social media content has helped grow their businesses and, make people more money in the marine detailing industry specifically. So we're going to be jumping into deeper topics, education on this Revival Show. So thank you guys for listening. You got anything you want to add real quick?
Yeah,
Noah?
yeah. Like Drake said, so my name's Noah. If you guys have joined the Revival Pro program or you're a dealer, reseller, in the last few months, there's a really good chance you've seen my name. You've talked to me via text or email or whatever it is. So I'm sure you do. He's being humble, but I'm sure you've seen Drake's face before. He's kind of all over the internet, especially if you're in this world. Which is kind of what's going to be really fun about today's episode is, you see the reels, you see the detailing, you see the videos we put out on a weekly basis. You guys have seen Drake's face. A lot of people in the industry, like you said, have learned from you. Drake's not lying. I mean, we get tons of emails and DMs every day like, hey man, thanks. You taught me everything I know. You're the reason I got into the industry, which is super humbling for Drake and the company. But today is going to be super special because we're going to peel back and we're going to open the curtain on where it all began. I think when you think about watching a podcast or sitting down or taking the time to listen to people give input and feed into the market, there's an aspect of who are these guys? Why should I listen to them? Why should I trust them? Why should I take their advice? And so today we're going to peel back on that. We're going to see, why would you listen to us? Yeah. Why would you listen to us? And we're going to start at the very, very beginning. So Drake, I'm going to toss it to you here, man, because I really want to focus on you being the owner and the founder of Revival, from early detailing by yourself to building crews to building product lines. Yeah, you've walked through a lot of it. You've walked through, I don't want to say it all, but you've walked through enough to really feed in and help people in this industry. And so, man, I want to go back to, if we could literally go back to first job,
the beginning.
What was it specifically for detailing? Was it boats you started with? Was it automotive? Like, where did you start? How did you get into detailing? What was going on in your life, and what made you jump into that season and figuring this all out?
Yeah, man. We can go super far back. So basically, how I got started was first off, graduated high school. I did about 20 minutes in a community college here in town. It's funny. As soon as I realized they didn't take attendance and I didn't have to be there, I was like, dude, I can leave. I don't have to be here.
Do whatever I want.
So anyway, that lasted about 25 minutes. And anyway, I didn't have anything really. My parents actually, basically lost everything in a recession at that time. I was technically homeless, which is crazy to think about. Like, the house we were in through my high school years got foreclosed on. I actually had to go help my parents clean out the home so the bank could come take photos of it so we could literally hand over the keys. It was actually quite traumatic, but I cried about that, years ago. But anyway, so when that happened, I had to go live with a friend and, slept on a sofa. They gave me the talk of, hey, you can sleep on the sofa, but you got to get your life together, because I was also making a bunch of stupid decisions, smoking a bunch of weed, all that fun stuff. And I was working at a window shade factory, putting brackets together for 8 hours a day, just literally doing mindless work. And I had a buddy working at a church that I was volunteering at, and he owned a mobile car detail company, or it was really himself, and his business was doing well and growing. And he just came to me one day and was like, dude, do you happen to know anybody your age that would want a job? My company's hiring for a car detailer. And I was like, I absolutely hate my job. Yeah. I would love to come work for you. So that's how I got started in the industry. That man, his name's Josh. He started me off with car detailing. He also did boats and RVs as well. So we learned how to do RVs and boats. But back then, Josh was, I honor that man. I love that dude. He's actually passed away now. He died actually last year, unfortunately. And dang, dude. Sorry. We'll cut that part.
No, we won't.
Yeah. Anyway, Josh passed away last year, and he taught me all the wrong ways how to detail a boat. So when I started my own business, I had to unlearn a lot of bad habits. But one thing I am grateful for is that he taught me the industry. He taught me the business. He taught me what to do and ultimately what not to do, which actually is valuable information. Yeah. And back then, we were washing every boat with bleach. That's what we would do. Nice. So we'd go through, pressure wash it. Yeah. We'd go get Tilex from Home Depot, and that was his way of detailing a boat. Was you Tilex everything. Yeah. You take a rotary, slap a wax on it, and charge $500, and we're out of here. Yeah. And I absolutely hated doing that. Literally hated it. So about 5 months into working for him, he came to me. It was like in November. It was I remember it was 3 weeks before I was getting married, actually. And he was like, dude, I love you, but I can't afford to pay you. I got to let you go, fire you. But he was like, for your wedding gift, I'll sell you everything that you use for my company and help you start your own company. Okay. So that's how I started in the business. So very unconventional, and started on a rocky road. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. So that's crazy, man. It's funny, I've known you, but I don't know, I'm getting to hear this for the first time as well. So it's kind of, it's really interesting. And, I know you're getting emotional, right? And, and you're like, hey, we're going to maybe cut that out. But I think I love the fact that it's raw, that was somebody who was an influence in your life. Right. Yeah. And he has no idea now, where the company is and what you've been able to do. And I think that really speaks to, a big part of, what we want to do in the lives of our...
Got a drink to that. Hold on.
Yeah. The lives of our employees and...
Monster. Sorry.
Monster sponsor us. Yeah.
Cut to me.
We want to, in the lives of our employees and the people we come in contact with and the detailers we work with, this, for us is so much more than boat detailing or products. It's how can we give input into people's lives and set them on paths that are catalysts for who they become and what they're going to grow into. And so that's one that's really important to us. Sure. And to see that's, affected you in your beginning is so powerful. But what I want to know is, obviously making that transition to kind of going on your own, you were kind of taught a lot of the wrong ways to do things at that time. What year was that kind of...
2014.
Okay, so in 2014, boat detailing as it is today almost didn't exist, right? It was non-existent. So really, kind of what I want to know is getting that first year, right? So learning what you know now, and now you're teaching the industry, learning all of that, and that first year of getting clients, probably maybe some higher pricing than people were used to because of what you were actually doing. Or in your first year, did you still not know what the heck you were doing? I'd love to hear, how did you make the switch? How did you learn what you learned that you're teaching now? Did you learn it all in the first year? Did it take a while? Kind of take us to that first year of business.
Yeah. So first year of business was pretty crazy. Really, the first 3 years were insane. So when I started my own, I actually was like, I'm never touching a boat ever again because I hated it. We were literally just bleaching stuff. I'd come home covered in bleach burns and bleach all everywhere. And I thought that's what boat detailing was. So I actually was like, I'm going to be the car guy in my area. And I did that for roughly about a year as I stuck to cars pretty much predominantly. And I went through extensive training on paint corrections. I even got certified by Ceramic Pro. So shout out to them. They had a really cutting edge on ceramic coatings back in the day. And they kind of made the ceramic industry who it is Ceramic Pro. And so I got really decent and really good at car detailing. And then I had a client, I didn't know what to charge really other than $500 for bleach and wax. So I had a client offer me, I did his car for, I remember this like it was yesterday. I did his car for $250. And it was just a full inside out clean with a wax. And he was like, dude, my car looks insane. I have a boat. Would you like to detail it? And I was like, no, I do not want to detail your boat.
Boats suck. Yeah.
Yeah. I do not want to detail your boat. And he's like, man, come on, please. Like you did so good. Like it's a boat. You can do it. And he was like, just tell me how much. And I was like, you know what, whatever, $500. Cause that's literally all I knew to like charge somebody else for a 25-foot boat. And he was like, cool, man. So we actually have a photo of it. You want to throw that up there, Ben? This was the first boat I ever did on my own here. I want to say that was a Carolina skiff, if I remember correctly. But and you can see my old Drake's Mobile Detailing up there. We come to you Facebook post.
Let's go.
And yeah, man. So I did it, and something clicked. I literally on that boat did the bleach and the wax. You know, terrible job. And he paid me $500. But I realized, like, dude, I did the boat in roughly the exact same amount of time as that car, and I made double the money.
Yeah.
And from that moment, it was like, voila, there's something to this. So fast forward through years after that, I just decided like, okay, I'm going to start doing more boats. I still did cars. Even when I started my YouTube channel in 2020, I was still doing cars, and I did cars, RVs, and boats for years. But I realized that there was no good information on boats at the time, because I was like, hey, I need to correct a boat. And I was trying to do the same process, same compounds and polishes as I was using on the cars, and it was not working. So I'd have a very faded, oxidized boat, and I'd polish it, and then all the oxidation would come right back. So I would get on YouTube and search like how to buff a boat, and there was really no great information besides Surehold videos, which shout out to Surehold. They've been in the industry for, I don't know, 70 something years now.
Right.
And they have the best brushes and stuff. And they did actually have boat buffing tutorials on YouTube. So I learned, how to buff from them a little bit as far as like the, just some basic mechanics. But I took a lot of my car knowledge into the boat knowledge. And ultimately, through a ton of trial and error, I was able to learn how to sand, how to buff, how to correct. And where the pricing really started to change was when I realized, like, oh, wait, no one around my area, seemingly the world, is doing this type of work. So I kind of positioned myself as in not a boat detailer or a boat washer, but I restore boats. I got really good at sanding boats. And the way in the beginning how I got really good at sanding boats was I went to there was a used boat dealership in Fort Walton here. They would sell, it was actually the leftover lot of the used lot. So this was a big corporate marina called Legendary Marina. And boats would come here when they couldn't sell anywhere else. It was literally a boat graveyard, basically. And I got in over there and I was like, hey, bro, for $800, I will sand, I will restore this. And I literally did probably 45 boats there over a span of a year or two for like $800, full sands, full restorations, but they allowed me to do it. And then one day, one of the managers came to me, the sales manager, and he was like, dude, he's like, they love you here. And I was like, why? He was like, these boats have not sold in 3 years at other lots. You detail them, literally a week later, they're gone.
Wow.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And he was like, how much are you charging? And anyway, long story short, I realized like, holy crap, I am underpricing because I had no freaking idea. Right. And back then, dude, I'm 22, 23 years old, $800. I'm like, sign me up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if that fully answers your
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
or not,
no,
and I hope
man.
I'm not rambling.
No, that's good. Yeah, I mean, hearing, I think the reality is in this industry now where we're at, we're getting to see the exciting side of knowledge and content and products that do exist now in 2026, and it's really cool, man. We have a lot of new and young detailers coming into the industry.
Yeah.
So kind of, what you learned early on, having to kind of trailblaze the industry in that sense a little bit and create what a lot of people use now. A question that we get a lot, man, is like taking the step. So somebody, is kind of in a place where they're like, man, I feel like I could be good at this, but maybe lacks a little bit of confidence or doesn't really know where or how to start. Sure. Like I literally just got a DM this morning from a young detailer who's like, bro, I want to do this. Like, what advice, what do you recommend? Where do I start? Is there a boat I should start on? Yeah. What should I grab? Like, what is one piece of advice looking back at when you started? Because here's the thing, like there is grace for growth, right? Mm-hmm. Like you weren't where you are now, when you first started. You're far from it. Yeah. You learned, you grew, you made mistakes, you changed methods. So with people having a little bit more of a springboard with the content that's out there in the boat detailing world now, what would you recommend to a new, younger detailer? No, I don't mean younger in the sense of age. Obviously people start detailing at someone fresh. Like, what would you recommend to them if they're wanting to start their own business, how to hop in now to set them up for success?
Yeah.
I know that's loaded.
No, yeah. Well, first off, I don't understand the mindset of where do I start? What do I do? Bro, to make it in business, you've got to freaking grind. Just you've got to go after it. Yeah. And I don't want to like dog on this person, but if you are not the type of person that is willing to fail, it's going to be very hard to succeed in business. First off, can you buff some boats? Absolutely. But buffing a boat and running a boat detail company are two different things. Okay. Two different things. So first off, don't be afraid to fail. Yeah. 100%. I knew absolutely nothing when I was like, I'll restore this boat and sand the crap out of it. Literally sold the job. And then I went, okay, where do I get sandpaper? Okay, AutoZone has sandpaper, 3,000 grit sheets. Let me go try that. Scrubbing it, pulling my hair out, freaking out, not knowing what to do. Granted, it was the most stress I've ever had in my life. Yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is stop being so afraid to mess something up. Yeah. In fact, when you mess stuff up, that is when you learn the absolute most. You can't have all the information before you get started. Yeah. Now, with all of that aside, literally all the information you ever needed to know is on my YouTube channel. Yeah, right. Yes. So they didn't have back in the day, literally there was nothing. And that's why I started my YouTube channel, was because there was like, man, there's really not great information for people actually in the business doing it day in, day out. So where to get started, watch a couple of my YouTube videos, go to Harbor Freight, spend $100 on a rotary, another $100 on a DA, get the tools I tell you to get our products, get cheaper products if you can't afford it, whatever, and just start. Literally just start. You are not going to know everything on day one. You're not going to know everything on year one. And I've been doing it for over 13 years, and I still don't know everything. Yeah.
No, I think that's super good. The differentiation between being someone who just is good at buffing a boat and being a business owner.
Yeah, it's two different things.
Yeah. And, I feel like people, like when it comes to that, I feel like people get really afraid to fail up front. Because, I would say myself, like, word of mouth and reputation is really important. So I think people are afraid to step in and like take on a job and then it not come out the way that maybe they guaranteed or told the client it would, and think that might tank. But obviously early on, maybe not, but like, I'm sure you have boats that you did early on that you look back at now and you're like, I can't believe I did that. Like,
I have boats last week now. Like that's the thing. You're never going to be perfect. You are never going to be perfect. And guys, reputation is great. It's big. But I have found when you make a mistake, make it right. Yeah. And your reputation's fine. Yeah. Like, humans make mistakes. Yeah. And sure, you're going to have a client that's like a real pain in the butt or whatever, then cool. Like, you just never do that again.
Yeah.
You know, never work for that guy again.
Yeah.
I've had clients tell me they will personally make it their life's mission to end my career.
Yeah.
A week later, nothing. It's gone. And these are powerful people.
Yeah.
Like own car dealerships in this town.
Yeah.
And I'm still in business. I'm fine. And we didn't even mess up something on this boat. I just turned down his job because I didn't want to do it.
That's
so,
good,
guys, like you stop thinking so much. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Stop thinking so much.
Yeah.
Like we will get in our own way. Even this podcast alone. Let's think about this. You know, we had an idea a week ago.
Yeah.
And in 1 week we have a full podcast studio up. I didn't go. We got to make it perfect. Well, which we did. Yeah. But it's like we spent 3 hours this morning making everything perfect. Yeah. And there's a point where it's like that's going to get you far. But if you're so fixated on needing to know all the information, all the things, you're never going to actually start. So.
What's that old the old saying that don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game?
Yeah, amen, dude. It's like you got to get up there.
Like you get up there, bro. Like literally, I think about it all the time. Like
striking out is how you get better at hitting because it makes you really angry that you missed the ball, so you train harder for next time.
Yeah.
You know,
and if you play for professional baseball, you can bat 300 and it's success.
Dude, I don't. I honestly don't even believe in failure anymore. Like I know this. It kind of sounds cheesy, even coming out of my mouth, but you only fail in life if you genuinely quit. In my my experience, quitting's not an option for me. So when I seemingly fail, it's not a failure. It's that didn't work. Yeah. It's a learning experience. So you're either going to be successful or you're going to learn something. Either way, you're coming out better. Yeah. You know, so like that's what, man, I get I'm glad you watched the DMs because for years I got frustrated with so many people like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I'm like, just do anything. Like go freaking make a mistake. Yeah. And then you'll learn that the white pad doesn't work. So you might need to try the blue pad next. Yeah. And maybe I get a little callous because I'm a little older than most people that are listening or watching this. Yeah. But it's like, man, like have a little freaking grit. Yeah. Like have a little bite to you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I
don't want people to think I'm angry because I'm not.
No, I know you're passionate, bro. Like, and I think too, there's like this reality of like we were saying, there is more content, like the launching pad that people have now to jump in.
You literally have everything you need.
Right. Like you can find it. So
I've made it too easy.
Do it. Yeah. Do it. Jump in. Don't be afraid of failure. Figure it out. Connect with people that are in the industry that can guide you and teach you things along the way. You have questions, you reach out. Man, that's super good. So I want to get back to a little bit more of your story. We kind of, went off there on some great advice for young detailers, business owners.
I thought it was pretty great.
It was awesome, bro. So I want to get back
I came up with it myself.
Yeah. Just a little bit here. I want to talk about, there is a reality. People look at you now, right? They see you in your podcast studio. Yeah. They see the product line. They see the detailing. They see the social media, and everybody wants that, right? Like everybody wants to be where we are blessed to be at this moment. They think they want this. Yeah. But this is 13 years in the making. Yeah. And what we have right now is recent, right? It didn't just show up. It didn't just happen. There were some hard years. And let's be honest. There's still hard years.
2 days ago was hard.
2 days ago. I mean, people don't see the
message you got 5 minutes before we hit record. Is hard.
It's hard. and 10 to 12 hour work days and, getting in super early to make things happen. Like there's a behind the scenes to all this. And that's really what we hope to uncover too. Like in this is getting rid of the fake false front that people look at social media and they're like, I just want what that guy has. And it's like, well, you really don't actually know what goes into it
for sure
until you're in it. So I want to get back a little bit to kind of earlier on before Revival was really what it is and talk about you had some tough years. Yeah. Like you had some things that really, really could have taken you out, your family out, your business out. So, financially, some major hits, some changes in life and scenery. And I don't want to push you too far, but I would like to kind of, I think hearing your story and some of the moves and finances and all that stuff, I think would be really encouraging for people listening who are like, I'm trying to make this happen, but I'm literally going broke over it, or I'm pulling all my hair out over it, or, walking on a, thin ice or whatever it is. Like, I want you to share as much as you're comfortable with about those hard seasons. And I think you know what we're referring to, just kind of elaborate on that, what that looked like and how you ultimately kind of came through that time.
Yeah, man. I mean, that could be like literally 5 episodes in one, but I think for this conversation's sake, I knew nothing about anything. Like 18 years old, 19 years old, you're coming out of high school. I literally started my adult years absolutely broken, homeless. If we really get super honest with that, like I didn't have a place that was mine. I was sleeping on a sofa, you know? So I had zero foundation to really start from. And my parents were good parents. And they taught me good, hard work. My dad was a business owner, you know, and I watched him go through extremely difficult stuff, losing things. And now he's built back better than he ever was. So there's
built back better plug there.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't that Biden?
Oh, was it?
Oh,
I don't
crap.
know.
Delete that.
Cut
No,
that.
Great. We're getting banned now. But dude. So anyway, hard times. A lot of my hard times is summed up in I blamed everything for my problems. You know, I blamed my boat detail business for my problems. I blamed my, parents going broke or whatever and being homeless as my problems. I blamed the economy. I blamed the city of Pensacola. I blamed everyone. Everything changed in my life when I realized that my problems are my problems.
Yeah.
I created literally all of them. And some of the ones in my life that necessarily weren't mine, I had some part to play in that, as far as even if it was as little of, I'm still mad about that because it happened when I was 8, you know?
Yeah.
So underlying of business and hard times in business and going broke is like, I wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm a firm believer that your business will only do as good as you're doing.
Yeah.
You are the cap. You actually, smacked me upside the head with some truth on that, just the other day of like, if I'm the bottleneck and my capacity is running the ship, then this business caps out at my capacity.
Yeah.
So in business, I would go through seasons of life where my business would outgrow me. And I would self-sabotage the company to cool it back down to where I could manage it, And I find that is actually the truth with a lot of people in their lives. As soon as something outgrows them, it will auto-correct.
Yeah.
It will every single time. And at least it has for me in my experience. So like a little bit about that. My company, I actually tried to quit detailing 5 times. I legitimately, I would scream at God and hit my steering wheel going like, God, why? I'm worth so much more than a boat washer. I'm out here scrubbing decks. Like, is this all you need? Like, did you think you needed a solid boat detailer on this earth? That's why you put me on this earth. Like, I was so angry at everyone and everything. Through all of that, the journey of like going through business, I grew from, I think it was like 25 years old. My company was doing like $320,000, and this was when the economy was like decent.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of friggin' money for a young kid that was homeless, at 18, 19 years old. So I let pride go to my head, arrogance. And then I literally imploded because my company, I had employees, it was growing way too much. So I literally fired everyone in my company. Wow. I let everyone go, and I was like, I'm resetting. I was on antidepressants at the time. I was drinking a ton to cope with stress and anxiety and really all my issues deep down inside that I never worked on, And we think money makes us happy, but really, dude, the more money you get, the more stress you have. Yeah. And if you don't know how to actually cope with those things in a healthy way, it actually will lead to destruction in your life. I've heard like alcohol and money are like they're amplifiers. Yeah. It amplifies what you are. So if you are an angry person, you drink, you're going to get really angry. If you're a happy person, you drink, you're going to get happy. Same with money. The more money you have, if you are an angry, bitter person, the more money you have, the angry and more bitter you're going to get. Yeah. If you're a really generous, loving person, the more money you get, the more generous and loving you're going to get.
Yeah.
So it amplifies, who you are. Back then, it amplified all the negative traits in me.
Yeah.
So I went through some really hard times. I started the YouTube channel, then the pride, the arrogance. I actually fired everyone, had 7 employees at the time, fired everyone, reset. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to put all my secrets on the internet. Literally like, dude, I am done. Like I'm done. I fired everyone. At the time, it was a perfect storm because COVID happened right at the same time. And when COVID happened, literally I had to be done for 2
Yeah.
weeks. You know, the whole world went on shutdown for 2 full weeks. And there was about all through that time, my timeline gets a little messed up sometimes, but I knew I wanted to go do another industry. I have a real heart for ministry, right? I've grown up in church my whole life. At 19, I rededicated my life to the Lord, followed the Lord. And even through that, I just dealt with so many demons, so much crap, that I was like, this business is killing me. Money's killing me. I even had a really, really good hearted pastor. And he meant the best of it, but he was like, you need to die to this money thing, business thing. This is not the Lord. You need to die to all your dreams, basically. Yeah. And dude, I was like, the dreams is the only thing I have. You know?
Right.
But I took that to heart and I was like, I'm done. So I actually applied, got accepted to ministry school in Redding, California. And when I got accepted to that, I went, dude, I'm actually done. Like, I'm going to go to ministry school. I'm going to become a pastor. Like, this is it for me. And that's when I went, you know, COVID happened right away. Then I was like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, put all my secrets on the internet. I'm just going to help as many people as possible because I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done with boat detailing. I'm done with everything. I was on the brink of being done with life, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Like literally. And, well, at that time, my YouTube channel, it was my third video I ever posted on YouTube, got ranked to #1 on Google for how to detail a boat. That's honestly how most people even find my content. And dude, it was like the views started coming in, the comments, bro, you're awesome. Thank you so much. And I was like, wow, there's actually something to this. And I just started making more and more YouTube videos through that time. And I didn't even want to make them. I had a kid actually come work for me during that COVID time because, you know, high school kids were out of school. And he was bugging me. He's like, dude, you got to start a YouTube channel. You started. And I was like, no, dude, I ain't got time for that, you know. And he was like, please, I'll be your cameraman. And he actually was for like my first like probably 10 videos. And when I started doing that, I started getting attention now. Yeah. And Surehold, shout out to Surehold, reached out to me and were like, hey, man, we'd love to sponsor you and send you some free stuff. And I'm like, what? Yeah. And then I had another brand reach out and another brand. And then long story short, up until 2022, maybe 2021, 22, I produced content every single day. And I was making more money than I ever made in my entire life, dude. I was getting checks in the mail for $10,000. You know, the largest check I ever got at that time was $20,000. Yeah. You know, for some product sales from YouTube, and money was just coming to me. And again, all the stuff, dude, just started coming out again. And I'm like, God, what the heck? You know, yeah. I left. I still left for ministry school. Did 2 years over there. And in that time, I was so confused because I'm like, all right, I'm in ministry school, but I'm making a ton of money. I've got all this stuff going for me. I've got brand deals and I'm doing training classes and like all this. I'm famous on the internet now at this time because it's been 3 years on YouTube and got so many people watching me. And in that time, after my first year of ministry school, everything started falling apart again. Yeah. My company started resetting again. You know, like I talked about, like how anytime your company or your brand outgrows you, it will autocorrect. And when that happens, I had a great learning opportunity, you know, not failure anymore, great learning opportunity that, you know, a partner at the time allowed me to experience. I lost everything, dude. Everything that I worked for, literally everything. The only thing I did not lose was my wife and my kids at the time, and my relationship with the Lord. Praise God. But like, I felt like I was failing in front of the entire world at that point. Yeah. You know, like before, at least I was failing in my car alone, and now this time I'm like literally failing in front of everyone. You know, I never understood like why like actors would like grow to the pinnacle of their career and then just like kill themselves or like blow everything up. And I got a solid little, tiny little glimpse of that, you know, because I'm not even near as famous as, you know, super painful. Guys, I'm going to be real. Like it got to the point I couldn't even buy groceries for my children. Like my mom and dad had to send me money to buy, you know, just food for my children. And, this is why I get passionate about like, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because in that darkest time of my life, seemingly failing in front of the world, failing in front of my wife and my children, leaning on other substances to cope through all that. It changed my entire life because it got so damn dark and so bad that it actually motivated me to actually work on the shit that actually matters, And through that, we moved back. We didn't even want to move. I didn't want to freaking boat detail anymore. Freaking tired of this crap. And I prayed. We were in California. I prayed and I was like, God, like, what do I do? And I heard move back home, restart. And I was like, man, again, like, I gotta freaking start boat detailing again. And we didn't even have money to move back, which was like really humiliating. So I ended up having a family friend that paid $7,000 for a U-Haul truck because everyone was trying to leave California at that time. And it was $7,500 just to rent a dang U-Haul truck, not the gas or anything. So we had a family bless us and pay for the entire thing to move back. And when I moved back to Pensacola, I actually had sold my company originally here to someone and signed like NDAs and all this stuff, so where I couldn't even contact old customers or anything. So I'm telling you, 3 years we've been back now. I literally started from nothing, like from ground up. The only thing I had was literally my YouTube channel. Yeah. Still, it was on the fringes at that point because I wasn't even posting content really. And I had a whole bunch of knowledge. I knew what to do and ultimately knew what not to do. And what I decided to do was I am going to do whatever it takes to win and do it right this time. And I took a lot of what I learned at my ministry school because there was a lot of business classes there. And that's actually why I wanted to go there originally. And I took a lot of stuff that I learned there and I applied it. I remember when I was in my ministry school, I took a entrepreneur class. And I remember my teacher saying, somebody brought up, you can't find good employees. You can never find good employees anymore. Like, nobody wants to work anymore. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like, freaking people suck, like, that's what caused my business to fail, employees, blah, blah, blah. And, the guy was kind of complaining, and I was 100% agreeing with him. And, the guy was like, no one wants to work, blah, blah, blah. And the guy looked at him, he's like, man, the truth is, there are plenty of great employees out there. Yeah. There's plenty of great people out there. The only problem is they don't want to work for you. Wow. And the room was like, boom. And dude, like that sentence, which I think is actually a John C. Maxwell quote, by the way, that actually changed my life because I realized, man, it wasn't boat detailing. It wasn't anything else but me. I was the problem. And when we actually realize that we are the problem, now we have the opportunity to fix the problem. Because we can't control anyone. Yeah. I can't control you. I can't control anyone. I can't control the weather. I can't control anything. But what I can control is me. And half of us, and including myself, I couldn't even do that. Yeah. So I had to learn how to control myself. Yeah. So practically got back in, literally stopped drinking. That was a big one for me. Like, huge one for me. Had to stop drinking, had to stop actively doing the things that were hurting me. Yeah. And dude, what is wild is like, just by not doing stuff that hurts you, you get better. And I know this industry. I know all these detailers, including myself. Not all the detailers, sorry, but like I know a large part of this industry. We are addicts. We drink, we smoke weed. It's part of the job. I've had clients offer me weed and offer me alcohol on jobs. Like, when you're on a boat, you're drinking a beer, cleaning it. It's like what you do. Yeah. And that might be fine for some people, but for me, I had to hold myself to a higher standard because I knew what I wanted. Yeah. I knew that I didn't want to just be the guy washing a boat, drinking a beer. Yeah. I wanted to grow something real and something that was honestly bigger than myself. Yeah. And man, I know I'm just yapping a lot. You want to add anything into that?
Yeah, no, I just want to say, and thank you for taking the time and getting into that. Like you said, going back through
It wasn't in the show notes. Cry now.
Yeah.
Literally isn't even in there.
I mean, like you said, you probably could literally take 5 episodes on the things you walk through.
When there's so much to unpack in that too, like it's impossible to,
Yeah. I mean, we can, man, we hopefully will be able to do this podcast for a long time. Yeah. Maybe we can get into all the details of that at some point. But
that's part of it, dude. It's like I can teach anyone to buff a boat. Yeah. Literally, I could teach literally anyone to buff a boat.
Yeah.
The thing I want to get across is like, what is actually going to sustain you long term?
Yeah.
Because you can be the best boat detailer on earth, but if you're getting high every night, you're drinking every night, and you literally hate your life.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the freaking point, dude? Like, if you go home angry every night and take it out on your wife and kids, like you can make more money than you know what to do with. But like, why? What is the point?
Yeah,
you know?
That's good. And that kind of leads in a little bit to, the question that I wanted to ask you, because you walk through this and is this. So what would you say if you were sitting across from a detailer who's finding himself in that place where it's like, he feels like this is what he's supposed to do, but the finances, the addictions, the stress are kind of getting to him, and he's kind of at a breaking point where it's like, I can either double down and make this thing happen or give up in this moment. Like what advice, what thing would you say? Start with this, like, don't quit, double down, make this thing happen. Like, you've kind of gotten into that a little bit, but like if someone is listening, watching right now, maybe they have their earbuds in and they're buffing boats and they're probably crying right now, like feeling this,
I'm hot right now.
Feeling the same things. Feeling the same things like that you alluded to. Cause like you said, man, like in this industry, like it attracts a lot of the same people. It does. Like, so people are going through this right now. They're listening to this and they're probably crying. They're probably like, Drake, like, thank you for being honest and vulnerable. And hopefully it's bringing out some emotions, because like you said, you can teach anybody to buff a boat. Like that is not the part of business and leadership that's difficult. What's difficult is self-reflection and being like, how do I become a better person so that not only my family can grow, I can grow, but my business can be everything that it could possibly be. So someone is deciding, do I quit? Do I toss in the towel, or do I double down?
Yeah.
What are you encouraging them?
Well, I know not everyone that's listening to this is a believer in Christ. Yeah. Okay. So the only thing I could do is share with my experience, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, my relationship with God has been a wild journey since 19 years old. There's seasons of life where I'm like praying every day and on fire for the Lord and listening to worship music 24/7. And then there's seasons of life where it's been months since I've like literally read my Bible. And the point I want to get across with that is, for me, what I need to do is pray and ask God, literally, what do I do?
That's good.
Every big moment in my life, that is the precursor to it. It's like, God, what do I do? God, I'm going to be honest. Like, you might be listening to this, and boat detailing is not what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So if you pray and God's like, hey, dude, get your butt back to college. You're supposed to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
You better freaking do it.
Yeah.
If I know people that have come into the boat detailing industry. First off, you're gonna most businesses fail in the first 5 years. Okay, let's just get that across. The reason why is because business is really, 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 really freaking hard. So if God, in my opinion, if God is not genuinely calling you to a life of business, don't put yourself through this.
Yeah,
because it is insanely painful. Okay, so say you feel like, yes, God wants me to do this. I want to do this. I don't believe in God, but I want to do it. Cool. That's where we can talk.
Yeah.
If there are areas in your business that you want to improve, I would first improve yourself.
Yeah.
Your business will improve as you improve. You are your company. You are the leader. You're the spiritual foundation. You are the mind. You're the brains. You're you are the company, until you get to the point where you have a full C-suite and people are running things for you. 99.99% of you who are listening right now are not in that position. It's usually you, one guy, or maybe 4 guys, something like that. Yeah. And they're all depending on you. So my biggest thing is pray. ask the Lord, what do I need to cut out?
Yeah.
What do I need to quit?
Yeah.
Because there is success in quitting when you quit the right things.
Yeah.
For me, it was smoking weed and drinking. Absolutely had to be done. 100%.
Yeah.
For a lot of other reasons than we even need to talk about today. But literally, I got tired of having hangovers, headaches, beer sweats while I'm on the job.
Yeah.
You're not going to detail a boat well with a nasty hangover.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You know, at least I didn't. And
Yeah.
if you can, great. Good for you.
Yeah.
But practically speaking, I couldn't perform at a high level when I was doing stuff that wasn't conducive with high level performance.
Yeah.
So cutting things out of your life, bro, getting good sleep, literally sleeping well, waking up, going to the gym, eating right. There are so many like tiny little principles that you can do. You'll be amazed at if you feel better in your body, how better you can answer an email.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like you're hungover, you have a headache, you eat like crap, you ate a bunch of McDonald's.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is sit down and write some 6 emails, you know? So fix you and your business will improve. Now, there are things, very practically speaking, that when you start to get better and, you're doing a little better, you're eating better, you're, cutting things out, that you can do to specifically improve your business.
Yeah.
And those are just going to be straight up basic principles, like go learn, read a book, listen to podcasts like you're doing here. I have, and our brand has our school community group where we literally do one-on-one coaching calls weekly where you can ask me questions. You learn our pricing guides. Being good at business is just simply every single day taking the right action.
Yeah.
It's as easy as set a goal, complete the goal.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Yeah. That's so good, bro. I was literally was where we were headed was like, what, and you just answered it. Like, what does it look like to actually get serious about your business, where you want to go, the dreams and visions and aspirations that you have? Like sometimes it's easy to hear that from somebody else, but then like on a practical day to day, it's like, okay, what looks different about my day? Yeah. Like if you're listening to this podcast and this is hitting your heart and you're like, I am where Drake was in the turmoil and stress and wondering if I should quit, and I want to be where it sounds like he is because of things. It's a practical decision every day to make the next best decision and be where your feet are. I think that's huge.
Amen.
Like when we think about business and like growing our business and becoming better at business, like we think about the specific title of our company or how we're doing the job. But the reality is in these jobs where it's you or you and a couple guys, like making a better business is actually taking the person who everything trickles down from and making yourself better, investing into yourself. And Drake won't say this because he just won't, but Drake wakes up every morning at like 3:30. Yeah. Like 3:30 in the morning.
I want to.
Yeah.
Like all.
We literally do not have enough time.
Literally
in the day.
don't want to every day.
Yeah. But he gets up at 3:30, goes to the gym, right? Like sets priorities, does what he needs to do. He's in the office early. He stays late. And I say that for Drake because I think it's important to know that like success doesn't happen on accident. Yeah. It's not something you just fall into because you really want it. It's a day-to-day intentional walk, intentional decisions, clear mind to become the person that you want to be. It takes discipline. Yeah. And when you can live a disciplined life, you'll walk in the successes that you're called to and that you can achieve by just making the right decisions.
Mic drop.
Yeah. So, man, that's
well,
so
no,
good,
and just real quick, because I know we're running out on time here. And we can maybe jump more into this in the second episode, but like living intentionally is everything. When I knew to myself, like there's a turning point. I'm at my lowest of lowest of lowest. I'm on the ground. There's no way but up. Yeah. Every single decision I made at that moment was highly intentional. Yeah. That's so good. And not for a day. Yeah. Not for a week. Yeah. Literally 2.5-ish years now at this point. Yeah. That I have been trying to live every day intentional and not perfect. Yeah. Perfect and intentional are two different things. Yeah. Like I thought if I had to do all of this stuff literally perfect to be successful. Yeah. And that is not true. First off, no one's perfect besides Jesus. And then secondly, you are not going to be perfect every day. So like, for instance, today, let's be honest, I didn't wake up at 3:30. You just said that. But the truth is that 99% of the times I do.
You do. Yeah.
Today, I literally was too tired because I stayed up till midnight, or literally 12:45.
Yeah.
Editing a video because I knew I needed to get that done before this today. And I slept in this morning. Literally, instead of waking up being pissed and being like, oh, I'm a failure, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
No, dude, I got my butt out of bed, got dressed, and went still do the meeting I needed to go to in the morning here, and made that on time, and then got here and we knocked it out. So have grace on yourself, live an intentional life. Don't worry about being perfect, but do everything with intention.
Dude, that's so good, bro. I mean, man, I hope that, if you're watching this, like it really is speaking to you, not just on a business level, leadership level, but on a personal level. So, man, guys, wow, we are running
That
up
literally
on
didn't go as planned.
yeah, we are running up on the time that we set for these podcasts to honor your guys' time as well. There's actually a segment that we were going to get into at the end of this that we are going to have to push to next week.
Yeah.
So now that you know all of that and our heart behind it, you've seen the emotion behind Drake, the founder of Revival. So now we are going to hop into next week. Why does Revival exist? I'm sure you can tell at this point, it's much more than because we like washing boats and making products. Got to tune in next week. Man, we love you guys so much. Thank you for being with us, sitting with us, listening to us while you're working. You guys are the reason that we get to do what we do every single day. Yeah. And we just love you so much. We're so thankful for this opportunity. So
yeah, I'm going to add one little thing here at the end. Guys, I'm excited for this because the podcast has been actually something that's been a real big desire of mine for years. And some of y'all may have known I actually had one of the larger automotive industry podcasts years ago called Detail You. And I've had a lot of people asking me to bring that back. And that is what this is. I mean, literally my Detail You podcast, it was named Detail You because it was, yes, detail university and teaching people how to detail, but it was really about detailing you. And simultaneously, it was like the Lord brought me through the hardest thing because he was like, no, I'm about to detail you, dog. You're trying to teach people how to detail themselves. Like, you about to get buffed.
That's good. Yeah.
And I got buffed pretty hard. So
that's good.
Anyway, so thank you guys, for listening, man. I'm excited to go through this.
Yep. So along with, learning about who we are, who Drake is as a founder, what Revival means, man, we're going to tackle some really cool topics, biggest lies in the boat industry, ceramic coating versus wax, but even stepping outside of the realm of detailing and boat products. We want to establish this conversation with you guys as the most trusted voice in the marine care industry and be able to give you guys all the information you need to succeed in your businesses or as boat owners, man. We want to bring in people to talk about servicing your boat, the different boats that are coming out, the styles that are changing, the way the industry's changing. Like, we want to bring in professionals who know more than we do in their specific areas of this industry so that we can prepare you guys and teach you guys and all you guys to grow in your knowledge that has everything to do with the marine care industry. And again, like I said, our heart for this is to unbiasedly become the most trusted voices in the marine care industry.
Yeah, man. And learn, there's still stuff I want to learn. So like, I got a buddy of mine that we're in talks right now. He's like a world-class yacht painter. And he also installs and cuts custom teak wood that they import from all over the world. Like, that's fun, dude.
Yeah, that's fun.
I know nothing about like actually painting and like certain things. And then bringing on even some manufacturers too, like some boat manufacturers. I'm pumped about that. So,
and obviously spiritual growth. That's the core of everything we do. So if you want to grow as a person as well, just be a better person and grow spiritually so your business can grow. Make sure you tune in every single Monday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll have a new episode for you. Love you guys.
Yep, let's go. That's a wrap.